The regular meeting of the Clarke County Board of Education will now come to order. Ms. McNamara, would you call the roll?
Mr. Davis?
Here.
Mr. Payne?
Here.
Mrs. Davis?
Here.
Mr. Parks?
Here.
Mrs. Ellis?
Here.
Mr. Worthy?
Here.
Mrs. Williams?
Here.
Mr. Huff? Mrs. Thornton?
Here.
To stand and join us in the silent meditation, and we'll follow that with the pledge of allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Do we have any amendments to the agenda tonight? Any amendments?
I have none.
Okay, hearing none, I need a motion to adopt the agenda. Moved by Mr. Payne, got a second from Ms. Davis. All in favor? Thank you very much. Okay. Recognition of visitors. I have one visitor tonight, Mrs. Mary Bagby. Are you here? Spelling bee concerns. Miss Mary Bagby. Okay, apparently she isn't here. We'll move on. Dr. Linnell, Superintendent's report.
We're going to do recognition.
I'm sorry, recognition.
Yeah, we got a lot here.
Yeah.
We'll get you home.
Recognition of chief. Anissa, please.
Good evening, Mr. President, Mr. Superintendent, and members of the board. Tonight, I'm very pleased to honor many outstanding individuals from the Clarke County School District. Honorees, when I call your name, please come forward, accept your certificate, and shake all of the board members' hands. But first this evening, we want to show you a video because we are thrilled to present to you our Martin Luther King annual I Have a Dream contest video. Hundreds of students participated in this annual contest, and the question to be answered was, how can I make Dr. King's dream come true? These 10 winners you're about to see did an incredible job of answering that very question, and this video recently premiered at the University of Georgia's annual Freedom Breakfast to over 400 people. So without further ado, we will see our video and then recognize our winners.
Dr. Martin Luther King's dream was for everyone to have equal rights and freedom. I'm going to keep his dream alive by being equal and fair to everyone. I'm also going to keep his dream alive by helping people when they need help and being kind to others. For example, in school, my passion project is about helping the homeless in Athens, Georgia. I'm going to make the world a better place by raising money for the homeless. Dr. King's dream was amazing. He helped the world in so many ways.
Martin Luther King Jr. was a courageous and charismatic leader who fought tirelessly for the rights of all our people. His I Have a Dream speech has made a positive impact on me, as I can proudly say that I have friends from different backgrounds and we treat each other with respect and love. I will continue to promote this dream by encouraging others to make friends out of common interests and values.
To help Dr. Martin Luther King's dream come true, I play with my friends all colors. I only have love in my heart.
MLK was good and kind. He was strong when he made up his mind. Be fair to others, love everyone like a brother. Dream big as you can, love everyone in the land. These are his rules for every man.
I help MLK Jr. by always making friends of a different color. I don't judge people by the outside, but niceness of the heart. I stand up for kids that are getting bullied because of a different color skin. I believe in Martin's speech that everyone is as great as everyone else. If black girls hold hands with white girls and black boys hold hands with white boys, the world can be a better place to live in. And hate can't destroy hate, only love can.
Everybody needs to get along. It doesn't matter what color you are. Don't let anyone tell you can't have a white friend or a black friend. Play with anyone you want to, but choose your friends wisely.
We are of different pitches, and yet all of us are music. No solo or guitar riff takes away the fact that nobody's instrument is broken, no matter how foreign it may seem. No guitar string should be cut just because it's not electric. No tambourine should be cast away due to a trumpet's blast drowning it out. You may create dubstep, but that doesn't make you untalented. I have no idea how many buttons are pressed and how much programming is done. I will not assume. I'm not superior. Acting as if they are lower than me takes away my nobility. Harmonize. Our pitches are different, but our sound together creates music pleasing to the ear.
I have a dream that I can be a leader for change, that my family can help others succeed, that my friends can get along better. Oh, I have a dream that all children will grow up to be healthy, that grown-ups can take care of the earth and of each other. Oh, I have a dream.
This picture represents the children of the world catching Dr. King's dream and sharing it with one another. It is the job of the children to continue to carry the dream.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a champion for justice and equality. His efforts toward changing how we perceive our differences have not gone unnoticed. At first glance, this portrait looks flawless, but up close you begin to notice some imperfections. If we put forth enough effort it takes and look past our imperfections, we can strive towards creating the world Dr. King envisioned.
And I think you can see that's why all of us up here and all of our educators out there, that's why we do what we do every day. We are so inspired by our students, and we want to recognize them tonight, and we have a copy of the video for them as well. The winner for K1 Art, Tamia Robinson, Fowler Drive Elementary School. Grade 2 to 3 Art, Dnaijah Davis, Alps Road Elementary School. Take a copy of it. Grades 4 through 5 Art, Matheus, Huaman, Vega, Fowler Drive Elementary School. Middle School Art, Catherine Wang, Hilsman Middle School. High School Art, Ronnie Hull, Classic City High School. And for writing, K1 Writing, Hinton Reichert, Barrow Elementary School. Grades 2 through 3 Writing, Giana Bermudez, Oglethorpe Avenue Elementary School. Grades 4 through 5 Writing, Dnaijah Scott, Barnett, Shoals Elementary School. Middle School Writing, Havivah Saltz, Hilsman Middle School. And finally, High School Writing, Lavarius Thomas, Classic City High School. Another round of applause for our MLK winners. And if any of you would like to see the video again, it's on our district's YouTube channel. Next, we'd like to recognize our Odyssey and Iliad publications from Clarke Central High School. And as we do each year, it's time to brag on these publications, as they are the best in the state, region, and nation, and they earn the awards and earn them consistently to prove that we truly have something exceptional here in Clarke County. So I will just briefly go through the awards that they've won, and then I will call up the editors and other representatives from the publication. So if you all want to go ahead and start making your way up here, those of you. First, from the National Scholastic Press Association, the Odyssey News Magazine, the website, and the Iliad Literary Art Magazine all received All-American, which is the highest evaluation that can be given. And the Odyssey received marks of distinction in a variety of categories. And the Iliad also received marks of distinction in a variety of categories. From the Columbia Scholastic Press Association, again, the news magazine, the website, and the Iliad Literary Art Magazine all received gold medalist awards.
I read it every month.
And they were also all Columbian.
Good job. Thank you. Good job.
All the time. Congratulations. Great job. Congratulations. Y'all are amazing. Always. Congratulations. 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 Always consistently great. Congratulations.
And then from the Quill and Scroll Honor Society, the Odyssey News Magazine was awarded superior evaluations for coverage, visuals, and writing and editing, thus earning a Henry Gallup Award, which is the top recognition. And this is the 6th time the publication received such an award. From the Southern Interscholastic Press Association, the Odyssey News Magazine was rated All Southern. Again, you'll see the theme, the highest designation offered by the organization. The Iliad was also recognized as All Southern for the 8th time in 10 years. And those that came up to be recognized were Susanna Conine-Nakano, the web editor-in-chief of the Odyssey, Louise Platter, the print editor-in-chief of the Odyssey, Brittany Butler, the print managing editor, Ethan Crane, the Iliad editor-in-chief, Ella Sams, who won 3rd place individually from the Columbia Scholastic Press Association for editorial cartoons, and of course their advisor, David Ragsdale. How impressive. Another round of applause, please. Next, we would like to recognize Megan Skinner of Hilsman Middle School for being named a Georgia Science Teachers Association Science Teachers of Promise. And Megan received this designation as the 2015 Middle School Science Teacher Promise for the state by the Georgia Science Teachers Association. Each year, this organization recognizes excellence in science through this Teacher Promise Award and Recognition Program. The Teacher Promise Award recognizes the beginnings of excellence in the teaching of science and commitment to its improvement. Congratulations, Megan. Next up were students that were recognized at the recent Chess and Community Conference. And in January, several of our students participated in this conference where several went on to earn awards and scholarships. First, our Real Ledge Middle School Entrepreneurial Challenge winners. And each of these students received $500 to implement their idea. First, Kyla Connor from Hilsman Middle School, and her idea was to create an activity center for foster children. Kyla? Next, Karnaya Dunn from Hilsman Middle School. She came up with the idea to start a sewing business. And finally, Jenny Vilchis from Coyle Middle School, a fashion company. Next, and this again was at the Chess and Community Conference. These are scholarships. Oh, come on up. Tell me your name. And Jenny again received $500 to launch her fashion company.
All right.
Next up, we'd like to recognize those that received scholarships. We have 4 students who received scholarships, and all of them really moved the committee because of their essays addressing poverty in Athens and creating solutions for this issue. So we're really proud of our students for thinking in this community context. From Cedar Shoals High School, Xavier Arnold. From Classic City High School, Elizabeth Tate. From Clarke Central High School, Fudger Malika Delane. Please come on up. And then the Fenwick Broyard Scholarship Award, again for essays addressing poverty, was Gadiah Kadar Powell from Clark Central High School. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Griffin. Congratulations.
Great job. Congratulations. Congratulations. Great job.
And next, we would like to recognize our District Services and Plant Services Division for receiving an honorable mention for its green cleaning efforts by American School and University Magazine. The District's Plant Services Department began the initiative in fall 2001, and now 21 district facilities participate in this program. The program was initially piloted with Transportation and Barrow Elementary School, and it launched with custodial staff using color-coded microfiber cloths, adding HEPA-filtered backpack vacuums, and reducing the number of daily cleaning products from 45 to 2, and using green-rated products. Now the program covers over 2 million square feet and has expanded to also include dilution control stations, hospital-grade disinfectants, and of course Green Seal registered products. And they continuously grow the program and ensure that being green is part of who we are as a district and part of our policy. And a total of 118 custodians are the ones who make this happen every day. So we have several individuals to recognize tonight who served on the committee. First, we want to give an overall district certificate to Associate Superintendent Ted Gilbert for his leadership. Kim Thomas, who is the Executive Director of Plant Services and oversaw. Steve Dorsch, our Safety and Energy Director. Steve. Cornelius Edwards, Warehouse Supervisor. Willie Gatlin, Custodial Repair Technical. Veronica Jackson, Purchasing Coordinator. Andrew Johnson, Custodial Services Supervisor. Lee Matheus, Custodial Services Supervisor. Tammy Scruggs, Plant Services Administrative Assistant. And as always, we couldn't do what we do without our partners. And in this case, we had several local businesses that partnered with us in this effort. And so we have some representatives, Rick Ayers from Thornton Brothers Supply. John Chitton from Athens Janitor Supply Company. And Kelly Cuppersmith from Granger. Yes, you do.
Come on, bring it on. You have good work. Thank you.
Clay Gilbert with who? Thornton Brothers. And Clay Gilbert with Thornton Brothers is here. He's the president. And again, thank you. So if you would please come up just to be recognized. And Jim. And Jim Chittum from Athens Janitor Supply.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I have been accounting with y'all for many years. That's right. Paying construction. That's right. That's exactly right. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
I was going to do something, but I might be on the mic. Let me leave that one alone.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you. Let me leave that one.
Thank you.
Again, a special thanks to our business partners for just dedicating their time to our district and showing up here on a Thursday night. We really appreciate all you do. Tonight, we would also like to recognize our 2015 Title I Reward Schools. And again, we have 2 schools that have been designated as Title I Reward Schools for high progress by the Georgia Department of Education. This is a huge honor, and we commend these schools and their leaders for tirelessly fighting to continuously close the achievement gap. From Chase Street Elementary School, we have here tonight Principal Adam Kurtz. And I love to share a little bit of data just to help illustrate why Chase has been commended. So in 2014, 100% of students met or exceeded state reading standards as compared to 67% in 2009, a 33% increase. At all levels, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, it was over 90% for students meeting and achieving state reading standards. And language arts, again, over 90%. For example, in 4th grade language arts in 2009, 70% of students met or exceeded state standards. This past time, 91%. And finally, in math, in 5th grade, for example, in 2009, 73% of students met or exceeded standards. Last year, 100%. And again, this was for high progress. So in math in 3rd and 4th grades, they've closed the achievement gap over 45% in both of those grades. And so when you have students meeting and achieving 90% and above, you can rest assured that means all students are achieving. So thank you, Mr. Kurtz, for your leadership. And next we have Principal Anissa Johnson from Fowler Drive Elementary School, and tonight we are recognizing her for 2 awards. So first we want to recognize Ms. Johnson for again being named a Title I Reward School. Oh, wonderful. So stand right here because I want y'all to get to here. And Assistant Principal Melanie Brown is here as well. So we are, come on up, Melanie. So not only were they a Title I reward school, this school won the 2015 High Flying School Award. Congratulations. So wait, I'm going to tell about it. And I want to let them hear the wonderful things about their school. And this honor will be presented at the 26th National Youth at Risk Conference, March 1st through 4th in Savannah. And the school, Fowler was an honorable mention last year, and this year they won. And they won due to rating exceptionally on all the award criteria, including high achievement, high minority, community collaboration, citizenship development, and democratic education. And again, this is where partnership comes in. Dr. Beth Tolley, a University of Georgia professor in residence, nominated the school. And I just wanted to share a little bit of the data that again demonstrates why Fowler has a commitment to all students and how all students are achieving. So for example, for reading, in 3rd grade, it's gone from 81 to 89%, and in 4th and 5th grade, it's now over 90%, a growth of over 14% since 2009. For language arts, it's gone up 10% from 75 to 85%, 76 to 85% in 4th grade, and 94 to 97%. So we're seeing some really high achievement. In math, tremendous gains. 3rd grade, 56% to 77%. 4th grade, 54% to 77%. And in 5th grade, 69% to 90%. And it couldn't be possible without both of your leadership. Congratulations.
This is so awesome. Thank you.
It's awesome. Thank you so much. It's amazing. Thank y'all so much.
I'm just gonna move on down. That's all I'm gonna do.
We also want to go back just a little bit and recognize Ronnie Hull from Classic City High School, who won the high school art contest and was featured in our MLK video. Come on up, Ronnie. And here's a copy of the video. Sure. So just go around and shake their hands.
Thank you. Great job. Great job. Good work. Yeah, well, we've been.
All right, Ronnie, I was looking for you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. That is awesome. Great job. We will all.
And finally, we have our 4-star employee award winners. And again, anyone can nominate these employees, other employees, parents, volunteers, students. So if there is a CCSD employee that has touched your life or done something that's really exceptional, please consider nominating them for this award. We had around 30 nominations this month, and so it was some tough competition, but we'd like to recognize our exceptional winners. First up is Giana Alarcon from Whitehead Road Elementary School, and she's the administrative assistant. And if you'll just wait right here. And I want to let these, they don't know what's been said about them, so I want to give them the opportunity to hear. And she was nominated by the principal at the school, Mr. Luther McDaniel, and here's what he had to say. During my 7-year tenure as principal of Whitehead Road Elementary School, no employee has been more loyal and dedicated to our school than Giana. She came to Whitehead Road as the school receptionist in 2007, and this is her first year as the school secretary. During her tenure as the receptionist, the tremendous work ethic that she possesses never allowed her to operate strictly according to her job description. She volunteered to interpret for parent conferences, assisted the family engagement specialist with family events, and chaperoned for overnight field trips to Rock, Eagle, and Jekyll Island. Whenever she is asked to do something, she never displays the attitude of, "That's not my job." She truly embodies the philosophy of whatever it takes, make it happen. Over the last few years, she has seen secretaries come and go with very brief tenures. This year, we decided to promote her to that position. Unfortunately, she quickly realized why the tremendous workload of the position had prompted several others to seek different positions. However, being the loyal staff member that she has persevered through a steep learning curve to become even more of an asset to our school. She is currently responsible for managing the state budget, the principal's account, purchase orders, student records, copier maintenance, and leadership of the front office. She has taken on this tremendous growth opportunity while also maintaining her commendable participation in all aspects of the school. Whitehead Road would not be the same without the loyalty, work ethic, and teamwork of Miss Giana Alarcon. She is most deserving of a 4-star award, and it is my pleasure to recommend her for it. Congratulations. Next is Katie Jones, 5th grade teacher at Fowler Drive Elementary School, who was recommended by her coworker Jonathan Moore, and here's what he had to say. Katie Jones is a superlative educator. Not only is she immensely helpful to me as I struggled through my year of teaching, she is also an indispensable part of the school. She is our 5th grade team leader, a school improvement leadership team committee member, leader of GEMS. What's GEMS?
Girls empowered and motivated to succeed.
Awesome. An enrichment program for girls and an all-around stellar individual, to say the least. She goes to great lengths to reach our students where they are and build them up to great heights. She prepares them with many strategies and techniques for success and truly cares for their achievement. I can think of no one who deserves this award more. Congratulations. Next, we'd like to recognize Amy Meltz, who is a nurse serving Bernie Harris Lines and Oglethorpe Avenue Elementary Schools. First, I want to share an email that I received from Sharon Penley, who is our Director of Nursing. It said this on January 12th. Amy Meltz administered an EpiPen at BHL today to a student who didn't necessarily present like anaphylaxis, but who deteriorated quickly and did have documentation of an allergy to cherries. She was actually unconscious when the EpiPen was administered and opened her eyes shortly thereafter. She was then transported to ARMC. Way to go, Amy. So first we realized that Ms. Meltz had helped save someone's life, but it didn't stop there. Then we received this nomination from Principal Melanie Sigler from Bernie Harris Lines Middle School. In addition to her saving a student's life, I'd like to add the following. Amy came to BHL wanting to build relationships with our students and their families. She has a servant's heart for our students. Anytime she finds a child or their family having a need, she comes in the next day with something to assist that child or family. She always wants her gifts to be given anonymously. Signed, a secret someone. We had a single mother call with news that she had been laid off from her job. Amy delivered a gift bag filled with toiletries, hair bows, snacks, and several gift cards to local restaurants and retail stores for the child's homeroom teacher to give her. Again, signed from secret someone. A young man was in need of uniform shirts. Amy brought in 2 uniform shirts, t-shirts, socks, and toiletries. For Christmas, she and her husband sponsored 3 families from our school that were in need. Everything she does is needed, but it doesn't stop at BHL. She does the same for her students at Oglethorpe Avenue Elementary School. I think it's clear why you got the highest score we've ever had on people judging 4-star awards. Congratulations, Amy.
Thank you. That was so sweet.
And finally, Aaron Stinson, 8th grade social studies teacher at Coyle Middle School, and he was nominated for this award by his colleague Charles Wilson. After being an administrator for 14 years in a nearby county, I found myself thrust back into the fast-paced, ever-changing, technology-pervasive classroom. As a teacher entering back into the classroom, one who left the classroom at the point in which technology use was just beginning to become pervasive, I found myself woefully lacking in the necessary skills, education, and knowledge of current technological applications necessary to not only survive, but thrive in the classroom environment. After I questioned my own ability to incorporate effective technology, Mr. Manzi, Coyle's principal, suggested that I visit and observe one of Aaron's classes. Hesitant as I was, I found myself mesmerized by the sheer knowledge of effective instructional technology being utilized in this teacher's classroom. One would have to witness Aaron's classroom to realize the full potential of this teacher's ability to incorporate this in his everyday process of teaching. Using technology to differentiate, he has multiple projectors running content notes, allowing the students in his classroom to work at a pace appropriate for them. He uses a variety of tools in such an effective way. But it's not only the use of technology that sets the framework for this teacher to be a 4-star award winner. What makes him a 4-star award winner is his willingness to collaborate with colleagues on what he has found to be the most successful applications of technology. I should know. I have benefited from the countless hours of talk with Aaron, from the early morning brain-picking visits to the "what are you using today" run-bys of his class, which I'm always welcome to, according to Aaron, to the afternoon "how did that work for you" strolls in the parking lot. Aaron Stinson is a wealth of information and knowledge when it comes to instructional technology, and never minds sharing it with others. Whether he's aware of it or not, through his collaboration, I have become a better teacher. I now have the skills and knowledge necessary to allow my classroom to thrive in an environment rich in technology. So this teacher said, Aaron took me from just surviving to now thriving. I owe Aaron a debt of gratitude for helping me bridge the generational technology gap, and it would be an honor if he were recognized as a 4-star award recipient. And you indeed are so deserving. Congratulations. Do we have anyone that came in a little late this evening that should have been recognized that we may have missed? Well, this is the part where I again congratulate people, but I want to turn it over to Dr. Lanou because I feel certain he would like to finish congratulating this evening's award winners. Thank you.
So where do you begin? Every meeting when we start out this way, it just opens our eyes to more and more of what happens every day. So as you kind of read all about schools and what it's all about, what you don't read about is what you hear today. This is not about a score. This is not about a number. It's not about a grade. But it is about taking just the range of what we were able to observe today in terms of recognition and be able to clap and smile and shed a tear, ranging from having the top literary works magazines in the South and the country, having a video that was probably one of our most proudest moments on MLK Breakfast Day, watching what teachers do every day, to watching how our staff help students, all the way to saving a life. So, when you put that in the context of the work in schools. You don't capture that in a report card. You're not going to probably capture that on a page, on the front page of the paper. But I will say this, you do capture our hearts. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lanou. Did Miss Mary Bagby, did she come in? Where are you? Okay, come on up. I need to read a statement once you get up here. Oh, yeah.
Just want to know those, I know you got a lot of schoolwork. You could leave, certainly, at this point as we prepare for our school.
Oh, I tell you, that is yes, I felt like she had a too with her. Oh, yes, the read, I tell you. In fact, I read that on my iPad. This is not just a job.
So, is Ted going to time? Ted time?
Yeah, well, I'm going to wait until they clear out and then I'm going to read it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, let me be clear. People can stay. No, please enjoy our meeting. You can stay. Please.
Absolutely.
Hi, how are you?
No. Okay, Ms. Bagby, I need to read a statement before you begin there.
Okay.
Speakers will be limited to 3 minutes, and we're high tech now. We don't hold up the cards anymore. Mr. Gilbert going to flash the time up on the screen, and when it gets to 1 minute, you'll hear a beep.
Okay.
And letting you know you got 1 minute left, and then after that, once the time expires, it'll beep again. Then that's indicating that your time is up.
Okay.
At this point, please conclude remarks. No speaker shall indulge in personal attacks while speaking. All comments are to be addressed directly to the Board of Education. To protect the privacy of our students, a speaker shall refrain from identifying specific students by name. Personal concerns may be addressed in writing to the superintendent or the president of the Board of Education. And you're speaking on spelling bee concerns. Okay, Ms. Bagby.
Well, I have other concerns as well, and I'll just use my 3 minutes discretionarily as I can. One of my concerns is the code of conduct for the school system staff in disciplinary actions and protocol. And one of my questions is, why are there no sheets on the beds in the infirmary where the children go when they are sick? And that's not just at one school, but several schools that I've noticed that. That's not sanitary. Another question is the Clarke County School Board going to give the contract for transporting our children to the Athens transit system, and when? Because I've heard that rumor several times that all the school bus drivers that drive the Athens, Georgia, Clarke County school buses, those jobs are going to be taken away from them eventually, and they're going to be given to the Athens transit system. And I want to know if that was true, and when is that going to happen? And another thing I'd like to talk about is, why is it that a principal cannot get in touch with the parent for 5 or 6 or 10 days, but she can call a resource officer to try to have someone barred? Another question, the spelling bee, Miss Angela P. Finanzi would like an apology from the Athens Clarke County School Board, namely the person over the spelling bee, and y'all know who she is, Miss Karen Higginbotham, Mr. Philip Smith, and particularly Miss Katrina Daniels, who would not meet with her from February the 5th even up until this day. We want to know, why is it that teachers can break protocols, and we'd like to know, where is the code of conduct for the staff at the schools, because they're doing things out of order. They're doing it without protocols. The children are being tried, sentenced, and convicted and sentenced without proper in proper representation. But the parents, we have no rights, and we want you to give us something in writing concerning the conduct, code of conduct for the teachers. When a teacher can teach his students about his religion, which is Druidism, slap a student and push one upside the wall and only get 4 days off. But if a parent dare to question disciplinary actions, the parent can get barred without any questions. And I want to know that why. We need to have fair representation, and the parents have rights too. So we'd like for you, as the school board, to address some of these issues, because it is not right, it is not proper, it's not moral. The parents have no say. We can't even complain or we'll get punished.
Okay, your time is up. Thank you very much. Okay. We're moving the agenda down to item D, Dr. Lanu, Superintendent's report.
Just a number of items. First, just congratulate, we just heard Board Member Thornton is on the Governance Operation Committee with GSBA. You've served on that before and will continue to serve on that committee, so thank you for that extra time to do that. I do want to make a comment about our presentation on our charter system. I'd like you to know that that's all on the web. We put information on the web. But I said at this point, if there were any particular questions that you feel haven't been answered through that, or there'll be many times to do that. We have a public hearing next week. But, so I'll do two things for all those out there listening. That is on the web, and there's a feedback form. Please give us feedback if you have comments. But I guess I'll start at this point if there were any comments from the board, as we said, from last week's presentation at this point. And there'll be plenty of opportunity. Okay, barring none, please to go through our information. And I hope the public goes to that tab. It's on the front page of our website. Please read through the slide presentation as well as the documents, 50 pages, so the slide presentation will help you hone in on certain things. And then there's some feedback forms and information about charter systems from the state. So thank you on that. And just an update on West Broad, because some people have asked questions. We still have an interested party. That's just what we have at this point, an interested party. Made aware that some people kind of questioned if this building were to go under some level of contract to be sold, what would happen to central office. At this point, we would do a space. We would do a transitional space using the H.T. Edwards building. Probably, I'm looking at Whitehead Road at the Quonset hut structure. That will be available to us probably in August, and any other spaces in schools. But we believe we can move our central office functions in a temporary setting for a year or 2 years. Yes. That's already taken care of. Someone asked what's the timeline. Well, I think if there's any timeline that we feel that this building may move in another direction with someone else, we will move into those spaces. Yes. So that's just where we're at this point. If I can go to a couple of things about activities at the State House, and this is something new, and we have a legislative committee that is sort of forming. We'll talk about that. But I would like to mention at least sort of what's happening in the legislature regarding education, and I think it's really, really early to make decisive decisions around that because those bills and legislation take change.
That's right.
So they're introduced, and we don't know, of course, what goes over on crossover day. Yeah. But there are certainly several that people have been talking about that I think we have to certainly watch as a board and as a community and as a committee. The first one is, of course, the impact of health care coverage for employees that are under 30 hours. That would be our classified employees, predominantly bus drivers and cafeteria workers and a few custodians, mostly bus drivers. We're watching that bill carefully. We don't know what the implications are or whether it's going to change. We do know that if it went into effect as it was originally introduced, it has the potential of having a traumatic effect on our on our bus drivers if we don't find a solution. But our goal is to working with Sherry Freeman and Ted Gilbert. We value our employees and we value health coverage, and we just have to wait and see and figure out what we have to do next. But that's around that piece of legislation. There's another piece of legislation that you might have heard that moves the starting age of kindergarten.
Yes.
That would go from September 1, which is in now, and it would move it back. Again, I think there's different iterations of that, but the intent is to move that back 1 month and then possibly another month. The implications for us is that we would have fewer students that would be eligible for kindergarten because of that 2-month period. I shouldn't say my position, but certainly the implications for us, we've been working hard on early literacy. So the opposite is true, that we need to be getting, and we're talking about our kids from birth to age 5. Certainly is probably working a little bit opposite direction of that we've been looking at with literacy, but again, that's still early in its stages.
Can you clarify, are they talking about moving it to August 1st or September or October 1st?
August.
August.
So that means all those in August that could be eligible, yeah, it would be a
All
problem.
the August birthdays are.
Yeah. So, what happens is we'd be missing and gaps some people. There's another one that's called House Bill 2.
Yes.
This is quite an interesting one. And I got further explanation on that today when I was in Atlanta. And House Bill 2 is really a takeoff of a little bit of Move On and Ready and dual enrollment, which is what we have now. But what House Bill 2, the implications are, when students now are 16 and say go to the Career Academy, let's just use that as an example, that they can get dual enrollment and they could actually earn a certificate or an associate's degree while at the Career Academy. But at the same time, they must fulfill the obligations for high school, right? It's dual. This new piece of legislation, the implications are that if I leave and go into a college program or some certificates or some language in there, that in fact, all I need to do is to get the college degree and I automatically will get my high school degree. That makes sense? So what that's saying is, rather than my junior and senior year taking dual enrollment, getting college and high school, what they're saying, if you go into this program and you get that college level degree through the college courses only, once you get that, then they will give you the high school diploma on the back, I guess, on the back side of that.
That's in committee.
That's in committee. They're all in committee. The other one that there was news this morning, of course, is the Opportunity District that is proposed by the governor. And this would require a constitutional amendment. In essence, the Opportunity District, without going into all of the details, because again it will change, essentially would say that the state would create under the governor's office a state superintendent who would then be in charge of, quote, failing schools, up to 100 at a time. And so therefore it's a new state district. They would take over schools in, in an area. And there's language in there how they would work together, but essentially that school would no longer be under the responsibility of the board. Now again, there's a lot of iterations, but I would share with you, as I read this morning, I looked down the list, and Gaines Elementary School was on that list.
Here it is. It's in today's paper.
So what is very interesting, and I'll just leave it at this because it's quite interesting, that the Gaines has never been a priority, a focus, or has any sanctions in terms of warning.
No, sir.
What has happened is the metrics, at least in this preliminary, is on the CCRPI score. The CCRPI score as a growth model was never designed to be on a 100-point scale to rate. It was designed to be a formula that looked at growth so schools would know where their strengths and weaknesses are. In this proposal, at least initially, it uses 60 as a cutoff, so it sounds like a grade. And so it looks at those schools that have had CCRPI scores under 60 for the last 3 years were ones that were noted. I will say this, that the CCRPI has been under revision since its beginning and hasn't been in its full implementation. So whether that will stay or imply for our school, I don't know. And it doesn't mean that the new state superintendent would choose one of our schools because they would look under other things. I would also like to make a note that our state superintendent came here looking at Gaines and thought Gaines was a phenomenal school and said would rate it as a 90 when looked at the and noted particularly the dynamic nature of the staff, the dynamic leadership, and certainly the building and facility environment, etc. So more to come. But the Opportunity District would, as I read it now, would go to as a constitutional amendment, would give the authority for the state to take over schools up to 100 on a time, and I just don't know the criteria. So those are at least the ones that I know of that are surfacing. Doesn't mean that there's others, but they're probably. But, Greg.
Yeah, Dr. Lanou, was there any talk when you were at the state today or previously about who would manage these schools? I mean, you know, in terms of would they be contracted out or? No.
I would say it was pretty wide open. I read initial language and the evaluation and how it works was pretty general. So
did you say the Opportunity District is one of the governor's proposals?
It would be, the governor has been a proponent of, as part of his platform, to create what they call opportunity districts, which are similar to the recovery districts in Louisiana and another Tennessee.
And the governor is the one that would have appointed superintendent.
Yes, correct. Right. That's correct.
Also, with that bill that is in committee pertaining to students leaving high school, I think they'll leave high school after the 10th grade.
That would be correct. Thank you, Charles. It would have to 2 years of their high school and they'd be eligible after 2 years. So at least those are the ones that seem to be kind of surfacing for conversations that we're reading about. Again, like everything else, they go through discussions and testimony and iterations and sort of as we know, the next level, I believe, you know the legislature more than I, but it's whether they make it to crossover day and go into the next piece, and that kind of goes around too. I just wanted to share that. I think it's important for the board and our community to know that. So with that, that ends my report.
Okay, we're moving down to item E. We have 3 reports, starting with Ms. Payne, GESBA District 11 Director's Report.
The superintendent just made my report. I was at the Capitol on Tuesday, but the only thing that I would like to add to that was the fact that the Superintendent Association representative spoke to us, and the last word from the governor's office is that he planned to fund those bus drivers and cafeteria workers this year, and hopefully by the end of 2015, by 2016, because there was, they said they have never had so many calls and so much emails about this. It's really got to him, and so I don't think we need to worry about it this year. That's what the superintendent reported to us yesterday. Tuesday when I was in Atlanta.
Could I make a comment just on the bus drivers? At this point, and Ted, correct me, or Sherry if I'm wrong, but we've had 10 driver openings and maybe some monitors, and we've been out for 3 weeks and we have 5 applications. It's not a job that is easy, and not a job that there are a lot of people flocking to. I'll say driving a bus is probably, and I will say all of our bus monitors, driving a bus is probably the biggest responsibility more than any of us have in this room.
That's a big job.
Yeah, and on top of that, of course, the scheduling, where you schedule in the morning and in the afternoon. I mean, it's hard to have a second job.
It's very complicated. So, anyway, it's enough line.
And I was up there to meet with our representative, and Senator Cosart was going into the Capitol building as I was going into the building where we were to meet. And I just hollered at him, and he went on into the building. So after our meeting, I had a chance to fill out an invitation to go to and talk with him, but he was not in his seat. Representative Fry was not in his seat, and Representative Quick was not in his seat. So, but I did get a chance to speak with Representative Senator Ginn from Madison County, and we were having a good conversation because I was asking him many questions that he seemed a little ticklish about answering. One of them was why that the state had not funded fully the 60% that is required in the bill that was passed in 1985. QBE. And he said the language is of such that many people don't understand it. I said, I understand it. It's 90 pages. And what happened on that bill was the fact that once it passed the legislature, the superintendent that had been appointed by the governor, he passed away. And so the legislation was never pushed. The assistant superintendent, state school superintendent, he didn't have the gumption or the push or the drive to get it funded. So it's never been funded. And the other thing that we talked about was equalization funding. People don't realize, but there's an equalization bill that requires the state, if schools having problems or lagging behind, that they are to receive funds from the state, not only funds, but support from the state in order to bring that school up to standard. And this is not being done. And so by that time, the bell sounded, he had to go vote, and he was happy to leave.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Payne. Mr. Davis, before I go to you, I need to go back to the superintendent.
Sorry, just one other one because it's a little more obscure there. You may read about the transportation, sales, and excise tax.
Yes.
That is.
It's in here. Yeah.
I think you gave us some information here,
Yes.
which is a good read.
Yes.
And that would have impact on those SPLOS projects, both by the county and the school district, because it would change from sales tax on gas to an excise tax.
Yes.
So the sales tax, and I'm not sure, Ted, but we're about
about 8 million in a 5-year period.
In a 5-year period. For us, for the school district, would be about $1.6 million a year in revenue that would go from our SPLOS to transportation for the state.
Okay, finished?
Okay, thank you for
Okay, Mr. Davis, your report on Parent Advisory Board.
Yes, sir. First thing, if you're going by the committee assignments on the second page where it talks about, who's going where, when, in terms of the Parent Advisory Board, the time says 6:30 here, it's actually 6 is when it starts. So I got there a little bit late.
Yeah, we'll have to clarify that because we just really don't, because at one point they wanted us to go at 6:30 because they
so they wanted us to come later.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
okay,
correct.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
One time it was later.
So we'll clarify that because at one point they meet together at 6 and then we all come at 6:30. We'll clarify that for the board.
Okay, because as it was, I walked into halfway in the presentation, so I'm not. There were 2 presentations there. One was about the School Garden Network, which is is bringing the gardening into the classroom and classroom into the gardening program. In my understanding, we're on the 2nd year of a 3rd-year grant for that. It involves CCSD, UGA, Athens Land Trust, Athens Farm to School, and I think the county government as well. Just a fantastic program involving our youth in gardening and then eating the produce. And the second part of the meeting that I attended for the Parent Advisory Board, concerned it was a parent who had written a very eloquent letter to the powers that be in the state, talking about the newly developed TEACS evaluation system of teachers and the emphasis on testing, and was, I would say, pretty questioning, pretty critical of what was being done on the state level, thinking that we were doing an excellent job here and did not really need the meddling from the state. So it was a good read, a good meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Mr. Parks, Legislative Affairs Committee report.
Ms. Thornton and I had an excellent meeting yesterday with Dr. Jack Parrish at UGA in preparation for what we thought would be our first meeting, an organizational meeting on February the 24th. But we're going to now reschedule that because one of our members wouldn't be available then. So we'll try to get that rescheduled for sometime in mid to late March, quickly as we can. There is another meeting which will in fact be our first committee meeting, and that's February the 26th on Thursday at 4 p.m. That will be noticed for the public, and obviously we want everybody to attend. Going to Dr. Lanou's comments today, we'll have a policy expert who is one of the, I think, leading policy experts in the state, who will sit down at a round table with us and talk about the issues of the day, including some of the ones that have been talked about tonight. So I hope everybody can attend that. I'm sorry.
As you know, I'll be in San Diego.
Yeah, you'll be gone. That's right. Dr. Lanou will not be with us for that.
That's right. Thank you.
Sorry.
That was February the 26th.
26th at 4 p.m. 4 o'clock.
It's here, right?
Here.
It's on the board calendar.
Yes, it is.
Great.
Yeah.
And what I did is, I just do notes, and I emailed everybody because I did hear some concerns about how we were moving in communication. So in your email, plus a hard copy, I just jotted down what was some of the conversation with Jack and Carl and myself. And if there are, and I also heard that folks wanted to have some input, so you feel free to email Dr. Parrish any ideas or questions you have. And I guess Carl will pull together the next date. So it's in your electronic piece, and plus it's a hard copy.
Okay, all righty, we're going to move the agenda. We're down to item F now. Dr. Lanou on policy.
We have policy and regulations. These will go for public view. Are there any questions? Barring none, we'll make those public.
Okay.
Action items, minutes?
Yeah, action items, minutes of previous meetings, regular meeting, and financial report, and also the policies to be adopted. But anyway, the minutes for the previous meeting, which was January the 8th, I need a motion moved by Ms. Williams. A second on that? Got a second? Okay. Any questions pertaining to the minutes of the meeting on January the 8th? Any questions? Okay, all in favor? Thank you very much. I think it passed unanimous. Okay.
Recommend approval of the financial report December 2014.
Okay, recommendation from the superintendent on the financial report. I'm quite sure you all have reviewed it. Need a motion on that. Moved by Mr. Davis. Got a second from Ms. Ellis. Any questions pertaining to the financial report? Any questions? All in favor? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, motion passed. Okay. Dr. Lennon?
No policies.
Yeah, there's no policies. So we'll go recommend approval of the consent agenda.
Okay, recommendation on the consent agenda. Moved by Mr. Payne, seconded by Ms. Davis. All in favor? Thank you very much. Item 14.
Item 14 is the district organizational chart. Kind of chunked it out into pieces. So we sent electronically for each of the divisions, and then we put it in the whole, so you sort of see the whole thing. But essentially, as you know, there was just some rearranging of job responsibilities within HR, and I appreciate Dr. Freeman's just look at that and how she wants to look at workflow. The other is in Dr. Tavernier's office that we talked about last week, which is really not adding any positions. It's some rearranging of positions to move to an executive director for elementary and an executive director for secondary. So just rearranging the director positions, but we have not filled those this year, and it is our belief at this point, because of the work is so distinctively different, we would love to have that expertise to support our principals and our curriculum leaders. So with that, I would recommend that we approve the district organizational chart, knowing in fact that right behind it in personnel are the matching job descriptions.
Okay, recommendation moved by Ms. Davis. Got a second on that? Second from Ms. Williams. Okay, any questions about this organization chart? Any questions? All in favor? Thank you. Motion passed unanimously.
Terrific. And with that, the final is I recommend the personnel recommendations, job descriptions, addendum, job descriptions. But those are the new positions, and Sherry's clarified those others for her workflow in HR.
Okay, recommendation on the personnel here with the addendum also from your electronic packet and the addendum in the job descriptions. Need a motion on that? Moved by Ms. Williams, seconded by Mr. Payne. Okay, all in favor? Terrific. Ms. Thornton?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I think that's a unanimous vote. Okay, we're down to adjournment.
Mr. Chairman.
I'm sorry.
Mr. President, could I just ask Dr. Lanou to just acknowledge the recognition that was received today at the state?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we did that. Yes, we did that, but again at the state. Thank you.
Yeah.
We went down with Dr. Tidings, myself, Katie Arrowwood, and students. And as you know, we received the award for the Outstanding Career Academy. Today, we were on the floor, and the Lieutenant Governor was again gracious in his comments about the work that we're doing, and to have his support is a real plus, and I think that was a real highlight certainly for us as a district. Thank you.
How many students were with you?
Two. But just to let you know, those two students had earned 47 and 46 college credits.
That's awesome.
That's
great. And one, okay, and one
It's a year and a half.
was already as part of the, we call them the Cat 5. The Cat 5 are the first students to go to Caterpillar, and boy, he's all over it. That's all I can say. And they're all over him about his work. So it was a good day for Clarke County. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for sharing that. Ms. Payne?
Mr. President and the board, before you close, just let me ask the board, as Dr. Lanou have just said, most of these bills are in committee, and there are going to be other bills. Please write and email your representative and tell them show them how you feel on this. That will help them a whole lot, because the governor, I think, changed his mind because there were so many calls and so many emails about these 30-hour employees.
Okay. Well, our legislative committee gonna be on top of it.
Good.
That's why. Okay.
Good.
Need a motion for adjournment. Moved by Ms. Davis. Got a second from who? Ms. Williams. All in favor. Y'all have a nice weekend.
You too.